Hello and welcome to the Blackwater podcast. We've just come back from the two-parter, the underrated and overrated albums, but I'm sure we're going to have death threats in the comments when those two finally get posted.
Not me.
No, Nick will, and I will definitely.
I definitely will.
Yeah, I probably will as well.
So
That's fine.
I just remembered my overrated picks.
Yeah. But those haven't released at the time of writing. I think when at the time of writing, I've just finished the edit for the underrated, so that should it will have come out, and then overrated, of course. But yeah, how has everyone's week been, Nick? How has your week been? And also, Nick, what's your big announcement?
Oh yeah.
So I'll talk about my week first. It's actually been a good week. My new phone doesn't piss me off like my old one. I got my Witcher books. What day is it today? Sunday. I think I got them Tuesday, I think. But the reason I got them is because it's my birthday of the day of recording.
Woo!
Fuck yeah!
Happy birthday, old man.
I am 23.
Yeah, I can't call it.
So
Double that.
I could already feel the grey hair growing.
You feel closer to Jimmy.
Dude, I fucking this morning when I went to get up I had to wake up needing to pee, as I do every fucking morning. It pisses me off. My back was so sore. I'm like, man.
Well, yeah, Nick. That's also because you just have back problems. Like, that's not your old age.
I know, but today it was like real bad compared to normal. I'm like, oh.
Oh, lovely.
Have you got your next bingo session lined up?
Yeah, it's with Doomy next Friday.
That's good.
Oh, dear me.
But no, the Witcher books. I'm still in the first book. I'm up to chapter 2 of the first one still. That's a good book so far, at least. Almost at the chapter 3.
No, I've been in a reading slump myself. I have to get out of it.
I don't read anymore. It's a bad habit I've got myself into. I just don't read anymore. I need to start doing it, but
gotta get back to it.
I like the concept of reading, but a lot of books are just not worth reading, at least nowadays.
Well, yeah, but that's the same. You can say that with albums as well. It's the same with anything.
That is
true. But it's different. It's a lot easier to listen to albums than read a shitty book.
I will say reading. You need to put a lot of effort into like reading a book, if that makes sense. Like, it's not like you can't read a book in the background, like with music or a film or a TV show. Like, you need to need to put your energy into it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like a game.
It's a lot easier to listen to an album than it is to read a book. And a lot of the books released nowadays just mid.
So what books have you read that released nowadays?
It's whatever my mum gets, because I see she gets books all the time. I mean, a lot of my books are just like Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
What was it? Big Nate. Big Nate was the classic back in the day. That was my classic.
We've got Tom Gates. The 13 Story Truth.
The fucking yellow Tom Gates book was the best one, where they go to Dino Land. That was a fucking hard ass book.
Why was that dude so obsessed with wafers, man? They made me really like
man,
wafers.
But yeah, same.
Even though I don't like wafers for some reason.
Did you have Beast? Was it Beast Attack? I forgot what they were called. Let me see if I can find them. They were like medieval stories.
I don't think so. We had a book thing called Zack
Beast
Power.
Quest. Beast Quest. That was it. Beast Quest.
I don't think so.
They were fucking sick. They started off like kind of not realistic, but like kind of like based in like mythology, and then they just kind of fucking lost their minds halfway through. You could tell he just kept writing them.
We have there used to be a thing called Zack Power, and it was like this kid with like, I can't remember what exactly it was, but there was like this kid going on like adventures and all that. Like he'd be fucking plopped in like the African desert somewhere, it was spies trying to kill him. I'm like, what the hell is this? Man?
I also did read the. This is something. Unfortunately, Hugo's not here to back me up on this, but I used to read like the Tintin
Tintin's
comics.
so good.
No.
Tintin's so good.
I used to sometimes read the like Asterix books. My dad loved the Asterix and Tintin things. Some of those depictions of a certain groups, ethnic groups, have not aged particularly well, but you know. Well. They are very good reads. I also do find it funny how in Europe, like Asterix and Tintin are such massive properties, yet the only ones Americans got were the Smurfs. Like Asterix is so big in France, there is an Asterix theme park that still like has world-class roller coasters and like is like one of the best theme parks in the world, and yet America only got the Smurfs because well. Also, we're going way off topic here, but we're now on the Smurfs. I just want to say R.I.P. Influencer Smurf who died after the trailer came out, and then they've just cut him out the film now. Apparently, R.I.P. Influencer Smurf.
Beautiful.
I found the Zach Powell books I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like about some kid with like. It's like Zach Powell, 24 hours to save the world. 24 hours to clean his room, to clean the pool, to walk the dog.
Zach Powell are going to drop you in the middle of the Cold War. You have to deal with the Cuban Missile Crisis. You have one day to deal with
Sky High. Yeah, hold on, let me read the first page. Hold on. Or the first paragraph.
Bro, why are we doing book reviews now? This is what our fucking
The
podcast
8-ball was zoomed across the table and dropped neatly into the corner pocket. That's the game, Agent Rockstar, Zach Power sighed. His older brother, Leon, had just beaten him at pool again. You got lucky, and said Zach grumpily, tossing his pool cue down on the table.
Okay, cheers for that, man.
And why are we doing book reviews now?
I don't know, you're the one that started it.
Yeah, we're talking about your week, and then, that's where we went. So I'll talk about my week.
Vito, how was your week then?
Yeah, I'll talk about my week, because if we go down the rabbit hole. Anyways, my week, I know I said it last week, but I'm still working on my applications. It's a long process, but I'm almost there. I expect to be done with my primaries by Thursday at the latest.
Oh, yeah?
And then from there, I'm going to start paying the schools, a.k.a. going broke.
Bribing the schools.
Yeah, bribing, I wish. And hearing from schools, like they're going to reach out to me and whatnot. And I just need one shot. That's kind of my mentality. I just need one shot and make the most of it. So doing what I have to do and keeping my head up. It's not easy. It's competitive, but
yeah. In the words of Nick's least favorite album of all time, Painkiller, there's one shot at glory.
Yep, that's exactly it. I just need one shot, and I know I'll make the most out of it. But overall, I'm excited, and there's still. And I already did schedule my other DAT. I don't know if I talked about it here, but I'm gonna retake the test. Just because why not? And I'm retaking it in October. So starting September, I'm gonna start studying for it. Because by September, my plan is to finish everything involving my applications and focus just on studying. So yeah, that's coming up. October 15th, I have my second test. But
oh yeah.
Yep. It's all good. Other than that, I'm seeing my girlfriend next week. I'm excited for that.
Good.
She's coming down. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
What? Not the mistress you brought to the Coldplay concerts we talked about last week.
No. How do I even? You cut that. You cut the part though, right? Surely you cut that part off.
I've not edited it yet. So.
I'm kidding.
Vito, if you bribe the schools, well, someone else you can bribe here. Nick bribes me all the time. That's how he has no money.
Yeah, all of the schools receiving my applications, please do reach me by email, and we'll sort something. Okay, thank you.
As if the schools fucking finding out about Vito's free.
Exactly.
Now, you should link the podcast as one of your references.
Now, funny enough, dental school interviews. They're very light. It's mostly like a conversation, and most schools do ask you about hobbies and things you do. So, I will end up mentioning this, and whether schools end up listening and analyzing it or not, I don't know.
Right. They
But
analyze the brain power
yeah,
of us for
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
exactly.
I don't think that
Just
I'll say this now, Vito. I don't think that'll do you any favors if they hear like you and Nick trying to stage a coup with the podcast. I think that they'll be like, okay, man.
Yeah,
That's still
whether they
happening,
do
by the
that or
way.
not, I don't know. But I am just being myself after all. Not over concerned with that whatsoever.
Yeah, that's fair.
Unless I I say something absurd on air, but I
How
don't see
about
myself doing.
how about we just don't say absurd things on air like that?
Yeah. So in case of police investigation or dental school analyzing,
Why would
Police
police be
investigations?
investigating? Why would
I'm just
What are you doing in the background?
Freudian slip.
To whoever is listening to this, I'm clearing my name and say I'm no longer associated with these humans. Thank you.
Bro's
Bro,
clearing his name already.
bro's
Just-
fucking throwing us under the bus already.
I'm just letting you guys know.
What do you mean just letting you guys
The
know?
police. I'm talking to the police here.
Why are
Okay.
the police listening to the Blackwater podcast?
Yeah, they'll just be listening to it on their shit.
I'm just
To be fair,
making
Yeah,
sure,
bit off.
just
To
making
be
sure
fair,
I'm okay.
It wouldn't shock me if Nick just, says something stupid and then,
Not, I'd say something stupid, but not police investigating.
No,
Stupid.
you're just the type. No, but I mean, like, you're just the type, like, I don't know, call the police by accident and then work your way into actually getting arrested.
No. Although
Is
I
that
remember
wrong?
one time my brother, we're like 9 years old, and we're playing on the tablet, and he fucking typed in 911, didn't thinking it wouldn't call through, and it fucking did.
Of course,
See,
it
this
did.
is, you're just
Hello?
proving my point.
And that wasn't me, that was my brother.
Yeah, but you probably were like laughing behind.
Oh yeah, I was. Fuck yeah. It was funny.
So you. No. But yeah, my
Yeah,
week's
that
been
was
a
fun.
up and down one. We had SummerSlam over the weekend, which Nick spoiled if you listened to the podcast.
My bad.
But unfortunately ended with Brock Lesnar returning, which yeah.
Boo. Boo. Fuck you, Triple H. you
We're
bitch.
not going to say anything because investigation is still ongoing. I don't want to say anything
It's
that gets the
ongoing,
podcast
yeah.
in trouble.
Thank
But
Just
I
say
don't think
allegedly.
but I don't think you should be bringing in someone who is in a lawsuit at the moment for very bad things, and just linking your company back to Vince, which I think is a bad thing to do. And it's just made wrestling just seem a bit less fun overall. Despite the fact SummerSlam overall was very fun, apart from CM Punk losing his title, although it was kind of funny.
No, it wasn't. It was not funny.
Because fucking Triple H is making all of his, like, the people that ever doubted him go through humiliation rituals, and it's kind of funny watching. He made him
It's not funny.
apologize. He made him apologize in Saudi Arabia for the tweet he made, and then he made him lose to John Cena in Saudi Arabia, and then he made him get cashed in on as soon as he wins the title.
It's not funny. 10-year-old me is still very upset.
Okay, he is one of my
I
favorite.
don't like
wrestlers,
Seth
though.
Rollins. He is my
I
favorite
do.
right now, at least.
You just don't like anyone that's not CM Punk. You don't even like Gunther. Gunther's sick.
I don't know, he's
The-
just mid.
No, he's not. Nick, when wrestlers
can't believe
don't
Randy
do
Orton
flippy
still
dippy doo
wrestles.
doos. No, but what's
Randy
it?
Orton, how old's Randy Orton now? He's like, what, 48, 49?
Yeah, about that. But what's it?
He's old
The
as
best-
fuck.
The best one's when Gunther's like, because there's a wrestler called Bret Hart and he hates Goldberg because Goldberg ugly ruined, like, ended his career with like a kick and it caused him a concussion. He was like, Bret Hart, you're my second favorite wrestler behind my favorite Bill Goldberg to his face. It's so good. But yeah, that happened, and then I went to go see. I'm going to go to Amsterdam later in the beginning of September, which should be
Fuck yeah.
fun. And then
Bro's gone everywhere but Australia.
what? I've been to 2 places this year. What do you
Everywhere
mean
but
going
Australia.
everywhere but Australia?
Anywhere but Florida. Unbelievable.
Oh, don't blame him for that. He's been to Florida, though.
I have.
Not to see me. SMH.
No, I didn't know who I was. I was 11 years old. So if you knew who I was then, then that's why the police would be in contact with the podcast. But that happened. So I'm going to Amsterdam. It should be fun.
Do you guys think that's why Hugo's not here today? Maybe he's already clearing his name before we even noticed it.
Why? What is this? What is this whole conversation about the police getting involved?
I think I have to leave the call. I don't know what's going on, but I think
You're the one that brought it up. So I think you're the guilty party here, man.
Bryce is making himself look more guilty.
Anyways.
And then I went to go to a gig this week, which was Undeath, Celestial Sanctuary, and Mutagenic Host, which was a very good triple bill. It was a quick show. It was kind of fun because of that there were like barely any times in between sets. All the bands were great. It's my second time seeing Celestial Sanctuary, and they were very good. And then Undeath were fucking awesome, as I expected them to be. But yeah, just a very good kind of club show. Which, apart from the crowd being a bit.
The Mutagenic album much, did you?
No, I didn't love it. I didn't dislike it. It was fine, but it wasn't something that grabbed me. But they were pretty good live. They weren't amazing. They were a bit too like, okay, we're gonna do like a slow breakdown and stuff. I'm just I don't care. But they were pretty good.
I quite like that album. I think I rated it like an 80.
But no, Celestial Sanctuary were great. I preferred them the first time I saw them, but then again, the first time I saw them, I had no idea who they were, so they kind of like surprised me. And then Undeath were great. So yeah, that was a very good show. But anyway, let's stop talking about the police, because otherwise what we manifest may come true. And let's stop talking about our week, because we're now on to the main part, which is we have no one here, so we've resorted to the classic, our favorite albums of a year ending in a certain number. This time,
all reliable.
3. Oh yeah, Hugo's gone. If you haven't realised already, Hugo's he's worked the first week. He's working all week, so he's just tired basically. Which is fair considering we record at 3 a.m. his time. So I completely understand why him working means he can't be here today. It's a much more reasonable thing than eating cheese and shitting. But
I wonder who that's for.
So we're doing our favorite albums from, and again I need to specify this, otherwise Nick gets confused like he did one time, which is our favorite albums from 73, 83, 93, yes. 03, 13, and 23. Unlike Nick, when I said once we're doing every album from 71, 81, etc., he sent me his 71, 81 and then stopped because he thought that was all we were doing.
Lovely.
I got all the picks this time.
That's good. And yeah, so without further ado, Nick, start us off with your 1973 pick.
So for my 1973 pick, I've gone Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. So Connor's favorite band. Shock, right?
Boring.
See, I'm like Connor here. I'm a true ball knower. I like Pink Floyd. I'm like
true ball British knower, yet supports Crystal Palace. Okay, bro.
What's the correlation here? There's no correlation.
Ball knower. You don't know ball.
I am a true ball knower. See, Crystal Palace will finish top 10.
How did Ascendon do this week? You didn't tell us that.
Honestly, not as bad as I thought they would.
Bro,
still bad.
That was not the reaction we had during the.
It started bad. The first half was bad, but the second half was better. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Right,
but anyways, back to Pink Floyd. Not liking this album, you're just trying to be different, in my opinion, because it's one of the most immersive albums ever, in my opinion. The way the atmosphere builds up, the sounds, everything, it all comes together for a great listening experience, especially when you are high. Actually, no, don't listen to this album when you're high.
Yeah, Nick,
it almost gave me a fucking heart attack.
That's probably why I don't enjoy this album, is because I don't take drugs. So I have not been able to experience it. I'm like,
it was good until a time where, because in that song there's like a really loud alarm clock, and when you're high, that noise, it fucking freaked me out.
Yeah,
so
by the
much.
way, please, I have nothing to do with any of the activities.
Yep.
Nick has been specifying here.
I
Me and
follow that.
Vito have
I
nothing
follow
to do
that.
with it.
Yep. Thank
Nothing
you.
to do
Thank
with
you.
it.
Yep. Thank you. All right, keep
Nick
going.
definitely did this in a legal state in America. Definitely.
Yeah, I definitely did. Weed is
He did it.
definitely legal in my state.
Definitely did it.
I'm pretty sure they actually are working to make it legal here, but
Yeah, I would
And
say
it's
they're
besides
doing
the
it
point.
here, but fucking Labour here do anything but try and make good things legal. They just tell us we're not allowed to look at any news without being 18 and submitting your ID to any site in the world, which is like horrible fucking tech.
Nah.
they're doing
I
that here
want.
too.
Yeah, they're trying
December,
to.
No, they are in December
Oh,
because that the legislation's already passed. It comes into effect in December, I believe.
rip.
But I don't know
Hey,
if
at least we don't have
you'll
Trump.
need ID. I'm not sure how it's all going to work, but
I did find it funny seeing people use like use Gmod to have like the face on Discord and stuff, because they just used Gmod and it worked. But anyway, we're getting very off track. So, Vitor, what's your 73 pick?
So for my 73, I was gonna pick Dark Side, and I was just gonna briefly talk about it. The only reason I won't talk about it is because it's I think my fourth favorite album of all time. I put it in my when I ranked my top 50s. So the one I'll talk about here is "Selling England by the Pound" from Genesis. Just an absolute classic in prog rock. It has what's easily one of the best solos of all time in for fifth, but obviously the
Peak.
whole,
I'd also say the
whole
solo in Dancing with the Moonlit Night is probably my
I
favorite
was
solo.
I was just about to talk about Dancing with the Moonlight Night is phenomenal. Battle of Epping Forest, Cinema Show, peak album. Nothing else to say.
Well, just like Nick did to you, Vitor stole my pick, which was Selling England by the Pound by Genesis. So that's worked out well. To save us from all talking about the same bands we always do in the 70s, I'm going to talk about a debut album, and I'm going to talk about the first Queen album. Now, people who don't know Queen very well, you think of Queen as like the pompous, kind of proggy, kind of poppy. That's fine. I love that era because that's what I grew up on. But this is a metal album. This is a heavy album. Keep Yourself Alive, Grey King Rat, My Fairy King Lie has such a good riff. Son and Daughter is basically Proto Doom. Like, it's such a good album. It's such a heavy album. It's such an intense album. And it's super underrated. I do genuinely think early Queen is when Queen were at their best and at their most underrated, personally.
Fair.
That was actually one of my honorable mentions.
Lovely.
But yeah. Anyway, Nick, what are your honorable mentions?
Well, it was one of them was Queen's first album.
One.
But my second pick is obviously Sabbath Bloody Sabbath by Sabbath.
Yeah.
I won't go too into detail on this, considering we have a Black Sabbath episode coming hopefully soon.
Yep.
And I don't want to spoil it, but this is, in my opinion, my second favorite Sabbath album. The riffs on this album are great. I will say, I think my only complaint is sometimes Ozzy's vocals are a bit weird sounding on here.
I think that adds to it, personally.
I'm not saying it's bad, but it's just, it makes me question why.
Fair.
Okay.
I won't go too much into detail because I want to talk about it more on the Sabbath episode.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fair.
Vitor, you got any or not?
Nope. Only Dark Side.
My ones are Tales from Topographic Oceans by Yes. Headhunters by Herbie Hancock. It's probably my favorite jazz album of all time. I love that album. Sweet Freedom by Uriah Heep. Tyranny and Mutation by Blue Oyster Cult.
Yeah.
Quadrophenia by The Who, which is my favorite Who album. $1 Billion Babies by Alice Cooper. The debut Lynyrd Skynyrd album. And Vagabonds the Western World by Thin Lizzy, where If you think I'm going to talk about Thin Lizzy a lot more as we go on through the years, trust me. But this is where Thin Lizzy really start to find their sound. It's a really heavy album. The title track's one of my favorite songs they've ever done. But yeah, those are my picks.
Valid. Good picks.
Anyway, moving on, we're moving to the 80s as the new British heavy metal comes down, as US power metal is really starting to pile up. We have a lot of different stuff here, so lots to choose from. Nick, what's your pick for 1983?
My main pick is Holy Diver by Dio.
Yep.
And obviously, I can't say too much about this, as it's obviously one of the most loved metal albums of all time, and deservedly so. It's fantastic. The riffs and the production are amazing. Dio sounds incredible. The songwriting, every song is catchy. Every song's chorus gets stuck in your head. And there's not really, I don't think there's a bad song on here.
Probably saying Invisible is probably my favorite on there. Maybe. I don't know. Don't Talk to Strangers, actually. I don't know.
Honestly, you could say any song is your favorite on here and you'd be right.
Yeah.
It's one of those rare albums where every song is good. And I think the album's probably 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good album.
Right.
Yeah. And Vivian Campbell's guitar work on that is phenomenal. Anyway, Vitor, what's your pick for 83?
Alrighty. My pick for 83 is going to be Kill 'Em All by Metallica, just because it was an album it initially really got me into metal. And it's not my favorite from the ones I'll mention here, but I do think it's the one that I discovered the most out of these, and for that it holds a place in my heart.
Two picks. I'm going to do Hugo Proud because he's not here to pick this, and I know he probably would. I'm going to pick Stronger Than Evil by Heavy Load. This is growing to be one of my favorite albums of all time. Pure Swedish traditional metal perfection, which is one of my favorite scenes ever. Roll with the Devil, The Kings, Singing Swords. Stronger Than Evil is so doomy. Free is catchy, and then Saturday Night is one of my favorite songs of all time. I think it is probably the perfect song to encapsulate the 80s metal feeling and the whole traditional metal scene that still is around somewhat today with like festivals like Moscow Rock. But that song specifically is so good, and I think they are a severely underrated band, and that specifically is their magnum opus for me.
Lovely.
Nick, what are your honorable mentions if you have any?
I've got a couple honorable mentions actually. So I've got Show No Mercy by Slayer.
Yep.
I can't say anything more about it, as everyone loves this album. I've got Caught in the Act by Satan.
Peak.
Got Victims of the Future by Gary Moore. And Bark at the Moon by Ozzy.
Yeah. Beetle, do you have any or not?
I have 3 honorable mentions. Cool. I have Script for a Jester's Tear by Marillion.
Peak.
Absolute peak. Exceptional fucking album. He Knows You Know is one of the most, I don't know, like chilling song. Like the vocals are phenomenal. Like Fish is so good in this album.
I think it is the worst of the Fish era. I think the next 3 are all better personally, but I do think it is a very good album. I
probably agree, but there's something about his voice and He Knows You Know that I love. Anyway, I love this album as a whole, not just that song. Obviously Melissa by Merciful Fate.
Yeah, that's my favorite. That's my favorite album of the year. If I was just going by quality, I love the album so much.
I do think my favorite's probably Script, but it's really close with Melissa. And then my next honorable mention is Peace of Mind by Maiden.
Yep.
Yeah, lovely.
All right, I've got a bunch. Who's ready for me to rapid fire all this shit? Okay.
Do it.
Deliverers by Warlord is a fantastic US power metal EP. Crystal Logic by Manila Road, Queensryche's EP, Another Perfect Day by Motorhead, Sirens by Savatage, Kiss, Lick It Up, Europe's debut, The 11th Hour by Magnum, Accept Balls to the Wall, Kill 'Em All by Metallica, Endless Skies by Ashbury. I listened to that today for the first time. phenomenal. Sortilege by Sortilege, fucking Born Again by Black Sabbath. This Means War by Tank, Synchronicity by The Police, Pyromania by Def Leppard, Dada by Alice Cooper, Black Ritz by Gotham City, Mean Street by YNT, Flicker the Switch by AC/DC. Nick has not picked that. You Can't Stop Rock and Roll by Twisted Sister, Chain and Desperate by Chateau, Loose and Lethal by Sabotage, Tokyo Blade by Tokyo Blade, Biscaya by Biscaya, Bent Out of Shape by Rainbow, Thunder Lightning by Thin Lizzy, Sea Wind Hell by Grim Reaper, Bark of the Moon by Ozzy Osbourne, Find the Brain by Ozone, Sea Wind Hell by Crossfire, Suicidal Tendencies debut, Heavy Metal Maniac by Exciter, Metal Health by Quiet Riot, Fast Way, Frontiers by Journey, Construction Time Again by Depeche Mode, Starfleet Project by Brian May and Friends, Torch by Torch, Canterbury by Diamond Head, Into Glory Ride by Manowar, and Power and the Glory by Saxon will be all of my.
A lot of good albums. A lot of good albums.
See, I did not look at the Switch.
A lot of good albums.
Because I feel like that was the obvious pick. I wanted to pick something different.
I was more meaning for like honorable mentions.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so one I'd say, if you want to check an album out from this year that I'd like to say is really underrated, it's Deliver Us by Warlord. That's a fantastic EP. Very creepy, but very good. Anyway, moving on to the 90s. We're coming out of grunge in 1993. So, Nick, what's your 1993 pick?
My main pick is Somber Lane by Dissection.
Fuck yes.
A lot of people see this as like the birth of melodic black metal, which in a way, yeah, I think it probably is the first proper melodic black metal album.
It's up there.
I think it's the first like full proper album. I believe there might have been a band or two that did songs, but no like full lengths of melodic black metal until this, because I feel like this is the first album that really pushed it into the.
I guess
I don't want to say mainstream, because black metal is not really mainstream, but mainstream wise in black metal sense.
Yeah, they popularized the sound.
Yeah, they popularized the sound. That's the word. The riffs on this album are fantastic. Sometimes I can't tell which album I prefer, this or Storm. It's like a seesaw. One day I prefer this, and the next I prefer Storm.
I love both.
Overall,
and what I will say about Somber Lane, I think the cover is underrated. People always talk about Storm's cover. They never talk about Somber Lane's cover, and I think it's phenomenal.
I arguably think it's better, but that's just me.
No, I think Storm's got the better cover still, but
I don't know. I'm in the middle.
I like the action of Somber Lane.
It's a fantastic album. The riffs, the drumming.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Right.
One of the best debuts in metal.
So I have these. Well, okay, I'll just pick my favorite for this one, because this album, I was always more of a prog head. Always in my life, I was always more into prog, and I got into Def, and then I got into Black. And the album that got me into Def, was ITP, or an Individual Top Patterns by Def, and that's the album I'm gonna pick here. It's my favorite by them. I think it was probably the best album I could have listened to make that transition, because it is one of their most proggy works alongside Sound of Perseverance. So it was a very good intro to death metal for me, and I absolutely love this record.
Yep. For my pick, I am not even in metal. I am gonna go for Songs of Faith and Devotion by Depeche Mode. This is just, I can't really get into why it's so much, because it is a very emotional album for me. I don't particularly want to get too into it, but it's genuinely just a very dark album. If you know the story behind this, like, they were like hating each other. Dave Gahan was massively on heroin at the point. Like, all of them were having like panic attacks and were alcoholics. It was a very bad part of their lives, and it's a very like dark, creepy, like, the production's almost suffocating. It's like that dense and stuff, but it's such a good album. Like, listening to this in the dark is just a different experience. And yeah, it's my favorite Depeche Mode. album really showed they had grown up out of the 80s into the 90s when they really fit in. But yeah, personally, it's my favorite. And everyone else kind of likes Violator as just as much, if not more. But Songs of Faith and Devotion is my personal favorite and a phenomenal album. All right, Nick, what are your honorable mentions?
I've got a couple. I've got Under a Funeral Moon by Darkthrone. I'm actually getting this album on vinyl for my birthday from my dad. Plus a couple more. I'm getting Connor's favorite slam band, Breeding the Spawn by Suffocation.
Yeah, best
This
slam band ever.
I love Suffocation's early 90s Suffocation's riffs are fantastic. They're some of the best in death metal, in my opinion. I've got Dance of September Souls by Catatonia, which is Vitor's favorite band. I've got The Nocturnal Silence by Necrophobic and Chaos AD by Sepultura. So Connor's favorite band again.
I like that album a lot, actually. Chaos AD is one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's a good album.
Fucking peak is what it is. So, my honorable mentions, I have 4. One of them being Chaos AD. The other one being Focus by Cynic. It took me a while to get into it, but once I understood it, I enjoyed it. But again, it did take me a while. Summerlane, and I cannot not mention this band if I have the chance to, and it's Up the Downstairs by Porcupine Tree.
Shock. Porcupine Tree is there to take your shots if you're playing the Blackwater podcast drinking game. We've mentioned Porcupine Tree. My picks are doing one for Doomy. I'm going to pick Icon by Paradise Lost, which is a phenomenal album.
I did not know it was released in 93. I would have mentioned it. Fucking peak.
The Outer Limits by Voivod, which is Voivod going basically into like a straight prog rock zone. It's a really good album. Covenant by Morbid Angel is one of my favorite death metal albums of all time.
Yep.
Angels Cry by Angra is phenomenal. Disembodied by Sabbath is great Japanese, like black and thrash. The Missing Link by Rage is a good power metal album. Pure Holocaust by our favorite band Immortal, an album cover where they're not looking so stupid. An album that I'm not going to mention because we talk about it later. Strange Highways by Dio is great. Indecent and Obscene by Dismember is great. And Edge of Thorns by Sabotage and Elements by Atheist I'll also pick. Yeah, pretty good year, 1993 overall.
Good picks.
I forgot to mention, I actually had that Depeche Mode album for my 93 honorable mentions.
Yeah, so. Anyway, moving on to the new millennium. You know, new sounds are coming. New metal is actually on its way out at this point. But, Nick, what's your... Acting like new metal isn't... You don't actually have a soft spot for new metal.
Not anymore.
Anyway, Nick, what's your 2003 pick?
My main album for 2003, this is a shock for everyone here, I'm sure, but Damnation by Opeth.
Peak.
I purposely didn't pick it because I knew someone was going to.
This album was how do I say this? This album's perfect winter music, you know. When it's cold, it's the great skies are grey and gloomy and dark. This album's perfect to listen to.
So anytime where I live.
Let me finish.
I'm just saying that the UK is always gloomy and grey and dark.
And it's winter here right now, so
make.
It is peak time to listen to this album because the sky is always dark. But right now it's actually sunny, so it'll get cloudy later.
So the point just doesn't stand.
But 99% of the time in winter here, it's always like gloomy, dark, cold. This album's emotional. It's sad. It's good sorrow music to just listen to bed, chill in bed, and listen to it. And there's not really much else I can say that hasn't been said.
All right, Peter.
Another shocker, a band that I talk about a little bit here.
Is it Porcupine Tree by any chance?
It's not Porcupine Tree. If it was, no. They don't have any other albums ending in 3. It's Death Cult Armageddon by Demon Borger. The same way ITP introduced me to death metal, Demon Borger introduced me to black metal, and they're still one of my favorites. And this album Was one of my favorites. One of the first I bought in on vinyl, and for good reason. Beacon
Fair
Symphonic.
enough. See, my issue with this year was my favorite two albums I couldn't talk about because one was Damnation by Opeth, and I knew someone else was going to pick that. And the other one is Banquet in the Dark by Test and Bardism, which we've already talked about at length.
Yeah, that's
So-
why I didn't pick that either.
I am going to pick Hate Crew Death Roll by Children of Bodom. I know I've talked about Children of Bodom before, and it definitely won't be the last time I talk about them in this series, but they are one of my favorite bands. And Hate Crew Death Roll kind of sees them moving in a bit more of a, I guess, like commercial direction than the first three, which are much more like neoclassical stuff. But every song's fucking awesome. Needles 24/7 is so good. Six Pounder's great. Bodom Beach Terror is great. Angels Don't Kill is so heavy. Hate Crew Death Roll is great. As stupid as the title, Little Blood Red Riding Hood, fucking hell, is a fun song. I think it's great. Do I think it's their best? No. I think the first and two before it are better, and the one after it I actually think is better. But overall, it's still basically a 10 out of 10 album. I absolutely adore it.
Fair enough.
It's actually
Nick,
my
you-
honorable mentions.
I thought it would be. Europe.
My honorable mentions is A Coming Storm by Cryptic Wintermoon. This is my favorite black metal band. And if you have not listened to this band, please do. They're amazing. It sucks. One of their albums aren't on Spotify, and which I get why, because like they independently released it. But I've got Where Lovers Mourn by Draconian, Dance to Death by Maiden, Hate Crew Death Roll by Children of Bodom, Train of Thought by Dream Theater, Connor's favorite album Meteora by Linkin Park,
Fucking.
and
I
I've got.
don't like new metal anymore. Picks a new metal album.
It's not really new metal at that point. That's
Linkin
that
Park.
album's more alt metal. Hybrid Theory is more new metal. That Meteor is more alt.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know
Totally
how to
sexy.
say this. It's Coronzon by Akakoke, I think.
Just
Coronzon,
go
I
with
don't
it.
know how to say this. I'm sorry. Hugo's not here to correct my pronunciations. But it's like it's good album. I recommend it. There's an arse
fair
in the
enough.
album cover too.
There's a what?
There's a bum on the album cover.
Okay. Why'd you? Okay.
I don't know.
All right, Vitor.
Well, I would just say Domination again. Same reason as you guys. Train of Thought by Dream Theater. I didn't get a chance to talk about Banquet in the Darkness on that episode. I wasn't present. I mean, there's not much else to say. It's probably my favorite metal death album. So,
Yep.
it's fucking peak. And it was my introduction to that sort of death metal as well.
Mhm.
I didn't like it at first. Second listen, it clicked and I loved it. And then Below the Lights by Enslaved. One of my favorite prog black out there. And I've listened to this album multiple times from start to finish in recent months. And the more I listen to it, the more I like it. It's slowly becoming one of my favorite black metal albums.
All right, my picks
metal.
are. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Nick.
Vitor said black metal.
Yeah, Enslaved, prog black.
Ah, I thought you were still talking about Intestine. Sorry,
No. That was before.
All right, my picks are Nordland 2 by Bathory, Power to Believe by King Crimson, Dance to Death by Iron Maiden, Traveller by the band with the greatest name ever, The Lord Weird Slough-Egg, which is a fucking awesome trad metal album that I recently got put onto by Fecka Metal, which I was on their podcast, so go check that out. I'll leave a link in the description. Train of Thought by Dream Theater, Mission to Land by The Darkness, The Eyes of Alice Cooper by Alice Cooper, Voivod self-titled, Puppet Master by King Diamond. Yeah, that's basically it
All
for
right.
me. So moving on through the 2000s, onto the 2010s and into 2013. Nick, what's your pick?
My main pick is Echoes of Battle by Caledon Brood, which I feel like
Peak.
might have been Vitor's pick.
Yeah, you took it.
Dude, I fucking love this album, man. It is. This album probably does atmospheric black metal almost the best. If Summoning didn't exist, I feel like this band probably does atmospheric black metal the best.
Mm-hmm.
This album's build-ups are incredible.
Nick,
It's,
I don't like
it's
the
highly
fact.
rewarding.
Sorry, I don't know that you're lying here because I'm looking at the list of like albums released in 2013. Your favorite one you didn't mention actually, which is "Fashionably Late" by Falling in Reverse. That's
Oh,
famously your favorite.
Go fuck yourself.
And my life is like
That's
a video game.
horrendous. That is your favorite. You like
Oh no, there's another one here. I'm sorry, I got it mixed up. Super Collider by Megadeth. That's your favorite of this year.
go fuck yourself. You're a prick, you know that. But no, Caledon Brood. I assume most of the people here have already heard that album because as they're pretty popular in the black metal scene. And if you hate this album or band, you're just trying to be different, in my opinion.
Bro, Nick, you need to stop saying that.
It's just true. If you genuinely hate this, you're just trying to be different. There's nothing to hate about it.
Nick, you've said
It's
you
good.
disliked Motorhead in the past.
No,
That's
he
the
didn't.
definition of
No,
trying to
he
get-
didn't.
I didn't say
Yes,
I
you-
disliked it.
Yes, you did.
No,
Yes.
no. Don't put words into my mouth.
I'm
Nick,
not.
tell me he's
I'm
lying,
not
Nick.
been-
Tell me he's lying, Nick.
I actually can't remember. So I don't know
See,
if
I've
it
not
is or
been
not.
words in his mouth. He used to always say he didn't like.
I
It
actually,
was like
I actually can't remember.
Motorhead have 3 good songs.
That's unbelievable.
I didn't call them bad though. I just said
If you think a band only has 3 good songs, it implies you think
You're
they're
they're
not
bad.
bad.
What are you
They're
talking
Yeah,
about?
you're objectively calling them bad.
shut
You
up.
also said Van Halen are bad.
Yeah, I agree. I still stand by that.
I
That's
Yeah,
honestly, if I
Say
speak,
to us. Yeah, you better stay quiet.
Cook. That band
Listen,
is
listen, I don't dislike Van Halen. Okay, I don't love it.
I do.
That's because you're just trying to be different, Nick.
I don't hate it. I just don't
No.
love it.
I
That's
don't
'cause
like
Nick's trying to be
that.
different.
Mid.
See,
All
Nick's
right,
just
we're
trying
off,
to.
we're off topic again.
Hey, bro, I'm just trying to check I don't fit in here. Anyway,
All
stay
right.
cool. Carry on.
All right.
Honestly, guys, let's be 100% honest. There's one person in this podcast who's always trying to be different, and that he is called Hugo because he doesn't like Dream Theater.
So you talk about Echoes of Battle and Caledon Brood. I'm going to talk about their mentor, I guess. And I think I had this album my 5th favorite of all time. And it's Old Morning's Dawn by Summoning. My favorite from them. I can't pick my favorite song from this album. Any given day, it's Caradras, or the other days, The White Tower, Flaming Fire, Old Morning's Dawn, Earthshine. I don't know. I love this album through and through. If I had to pick only one album to listen to the rest of my life, it would be Fear of a Blank Flame by Porcupine Tree, but this would be very close to it.
Just had to get them in.
I mean, just to show how much I love this album. Like it's there. It's that close. Okay. So yeah, I'm summoning.
I'm not picking my favorite because I think I picked Frank Turner for my 2011 pick. So again, I'm cheating because I never cheat on this podcast ever. I always play by the rules. My album is not an album; it's an EP. It's also not an EP of new material. It's an EP of demos and a single released in 1985 and 1987 because I live in the past. And I'm picking "We Stand to Fight" by Virtue. This is just phenomenal. If there was ever a band that should have released more than fucking 5 songs, it's this band. They only released 5 songs. They released a single, which has 2 songs, and then they released a demo, which has 3 songs, and then they split up forever. I don't think they've ever returned. But in 2013, I forgot which label it was, just collected up all the songs, put them on one release, and it's phenomenal. It's now got a very big cult following. It's an astounding release. Their music is as good as Maiden, and it's just sad they never got to do anything more than those 5 songs. So yeah, you probably heard the title track before because that has become like a bit of a known song. But yeah, "We Stand to Fight" by Virtue be my pick.
Lovely.
Nick, what are your honorable mentions?
I've got a couple. I've got Surgical Steel by Carcass. I've got Asa by Falkenbach. Sunbather by Connor's favorite band again, Death Heaven.
TikTok black metal.
I've got Hyperia by Stormlord, which we've talked about on the podcast before. Well, not that album, but the band. And Manifest Decimation by Power Trip.
Yep, that last one I'll 100% agree with.
I do need to re-listen to that album.
It's not as good as the next one, but it is almost as good.
This band is weird. It's very dissonant, atmospheric, I guess. It took me a while to get into Passage d'Ever. But eventually, I liked them a lot. I still think there are better bands in Ammo black metal, but I do like Passage, and I think that story is worth mentioning. Once I'm talking about albums released in 2013 here, I've listened to it I think twice or thrice. First time it was the first time I ever listened to Passage. I was like, I would just stick to regular black metal, but then I came around to it because after I listened to it, I discovered Battle Digraph, which is very similar to Passage, and I think it's softer than Passage. And I guess it kind of prepared me for it, and I enjoyed it afterwards. And at this point, I listened to almost the entire discography of Passage, and this is one of my favorite albums from there. And I love the cover. Passage covers are always great.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it feel like you're literally in the cover. It's wonderful. So yeah, That Story is a great album. Definitely recommend for those who like atmosphere black metal. It might take multiple listens, but I think it's worth it. And then I have Cold by Leprous. Considering how little I talk about Leprous, you would think I don't like them very much, but I very much do like Leprous. I think I should give them more props than I do because I listen to it a lot on my day-to-day. Maybe not day-to-day, but I listen to it at least once every 2 weeks. And considering the amount of bands I listen to, I think that's a pretty decent amount, I would say. Very melodic, very proggy. It's still some avant-garde touch in there, and I like it a lot. And obviously, Echoes of Battle that you mentioned, one of my favorite albums as well.
Yep.
Cool.
My honorable mentions. There's one I'm shocked Vito has not mentioned, but Tape Deck Heart by Frank Turner is one of my picks. All Is One by Orphanland. Circle by Amorphis. Nick Serabam, Preach of the Night by Powerwolf. All Hell Breaks Loose by Black Star Riders. Sacrifice by Saxon. Target Earth by Voivod. Chemistry of Consciousness by Toxic Holocaust. Earth Rocker by Clutch. And the last one I'm going to mention is the one I'm shocked that Vito didn't mention, which is The Raven That Refused to Sing by Stephen.
Wait, it was 2013?
Yeah.
All right, well, yeah. Yeah, Peaks. Literally my second favorite album of all time. I did not know it was 2013.
I was about to say.
I hope.
I was like,
I
scrolling down my list as you were talking about.
Oh my god, that's abysmal. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, peak album. Simply put.
All right.
Thank you for shouting out, though.
That's all right. We are now moving on to modern day. 2 years ago, when was this when me and you met, Nick? I feel like it probably.
Yeah,
was.
we met start of 2023, March 2023.
Okay, scary. You remember that, but anyway, Nick, what's your pick for 2023?
So I've gone. I don't think you guys will know this, but I've gone the Frost Spectre's Wrath by Daemonian. This is a Japanese melodic black metal album. And
Place Japan. Sorry.
And this album's riffs are fantastic. The drumming's fantastic. The vocals are amazing. There's some of the sorry. This album, the vocals on this album sound like I don't remember his name or the band. It doesn't matter. I can't remember the band or singer. But it's the album covers are great. Album cover's great. It's very immersive. That's the word. Where the album cover describes exactly what the album sounds like: spacey, melodic. It's great. Great album. I will say my only complaint is sometimes the production is a bit mid, but overall it doesn't affect music for me.
All right. All right.
Lovely.
Vitor.
I have only two for here. One of them, and I will mention Stephen Wilson here because I caught this one, and this one is the Harmony Codex. And a little bit more poppy than I like it. Well, a little bit more electronic, again, than I like it. But this album has some absolute bangers. Staircase is one of my favorite songs in his solo discography. And then it has things like Beautiful Scarecrow is phenomenal. Harmony Codex is phenomenal. Time is Running Out. Possible Tightrope. Rock Bottom is beautiful. What Life Brings. So, it turns out that I actually really like this album. And I didn't think I would, because he was in a pop phase, he was in an electronica phase, and I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot, especially Impossible Tightrope. I remember when it released, and I was watching the clip, and it was a beautiful clip. I don't know who made it, but shout out. I remember listening to it, and I just texted my dad, huge Steven Wilson fan as well, saying that's one of his best recent works at that point, and we were kind of bummed by the Future Bites. It's not our thing. So when I heard that, I was fucking pumped. So I have good memories with that album.
All right. My pick, I'm going to pick Warlock Scream and Withered Hags by Hellripper. I like Hellripper before this, but they're much more like a straight black and thrash band. But this is phenomenal. It's made by one guy. I forgot his name, unfortunately. I'm trying to look for it, but I can't see one. It's phenomenal. I'm pretty sure most of the lyrics are about like Scottish folklore, because the guy's Scottish. He really goes into more of like a folky for many parts of this. He goes for like a lot more experimental than his past two, and I think it works out perfectly. The Knuckleave is great. Either Deceive is amazing. The title track's awesome. The Hissing Marshes, Go Vomit Nightmare, Curse Carrying Crown. It's a phenomenal album overall. Only about 45 minutes, so it doesn't you ever say it's welcome at all. It's easily one of my favorite releases and one of my favorite black metal albums of all time, like flat out.
That's a great album. I agree. So I was putting a jumper on. I've got a lot of honorable mentions here. So I've got Out for Blood by Shadows. Sorry, I was reading it wrong. I've got Call of the Sirens by Cravings. I've got the heaviest album of all time here, The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess by Chapel Roan. I've got Connor's favorite artist and his favorite album of all time, Pink Tape by Lil Uzi Vert.
Fuck off.
I've got Throne of the Lunar Soul by Vol'jin. I've got Andor for Black Mastery by Uri Forest Flame. I don't know how to say it. Sworn by Northern Land by Necromancer. Guns for Hire, Tailgunner. Petro Draconic by King Gizzard. This Heathen Land by Greenlung. The Enduring Spirit by Tomb Mold. Finno Urgic by Somali or Samael. Where Frost and Elder Blood by Fight Fear and Holt. Connor's favorite, this whole podcast's favorite band. Periphery 5, Gent is Not a Genre by Periphery. I've got Warlock Scream and Withered Hags by Hellripper. And Agriculture by Agriculture, which Connor actually likes that band.
I do. I think I showed you that band.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, very good. All right, Vitor.
I only have one honorable mention for 2023. For some reason, I didn't find that many albums that released in 2023 that I enjoyed. Maybe I'm missing. So maybe someone calls me out on Twitter and calls me a dumbass because I missed some releases.
I'll do it.
Okay, thank you. But this is an album that Hugo called overrated recently. And it's EXO by Neil Sikaris. And I can see why he says it's overrated. According to the rest of the community, I'm not gonna say he's wrong. for saying that, but I specifically think it's a great album. I think the first 3 songs are fantastic. It's top heavy, but I still like the last 3 songs. And I do think Equus is one of their highlights in their whole discography. So definitely want to shout out EXO. I think it's great.
And my honorable mentions are This Heathen Lamb by Green Lung, Speeder by Speeder, a great speed metal band that I'm definitely not friends with, but I loved them before I was friends with them, and Nickelback me on there. That is a great EP.
Yeah, it is a great EP.
Voyage by Tanith, Further in Evil by Mar, that is another great black metal release from this year. Rock Knights by Amethyst. I spoke about Amethyst so much on this podcast. The EP is almost as good as the full album. Chaotic Upheaval by Pronostic, Golden Arm by Haunt, Street Metal by Thriller, Wheels of Twilight by Dusk, Cutting Class by The Donner Party, Gates of Twilight by Wings of Steel, Bloodline by Tigers of Pantang, Glacial Domination by Frozen Soul, Shooting Star by Acid Blade, Insatiable Thirst for Torment by Celestial Sanctuary, Dawn of the Axe by Cruel Force, Sacrament by Witch Hazel, The Always Remain by Blood Ceremony, Glory by Fire and Sword, Echoes of Journey's Past by Flight, Hands of Execution by Phantom, and I'll go Mutants by Mutoid Man as my final pick. But overall, a very good year, very solid year overall. But yeah, those are all of our picks. Let us know your picks down below, and if any of us have picks you very much disagree with, also let us know, and make fun of Vitor for forgetting that his second favorite album released when it did.
That's abysmal.
But we're moving even more into the future now. We're doing our 2025 albums. So Nick, what's your pick this time?
So I've got actually 2 picks, and one of them is a bit cheating.
Nick, you're not allowed to cheat.
Shut up. As this album actually came out last year, but it came out on the 21st of December, so it's borderline 2025 pick. But I have to talk about this album because it's quickly becoming one of my favorite albums ever. But it's Creatures. I think it's Creatures because there's 2 S's. By Creatures, it's just self-titled by the band Creatures. Again, I'm talking about a post-metal album, not a black metal album, surprisingly, or a death metal one. This album is similar to, like, I don't want to, not musically, Opeth-wise, but vibe-wise. It's very sorrow, it's very sad, it's depressing. The vocals are fantastic. Although, if it was for any other genre, it would not sound good, but for the genre, it's perfect. It's like post-metal doom. And it's beautiful. It's hauntingly beautiful. I love the album. The atmosphere is great. The build-ups are great. I love it. It's 10 out of 10 album for me.
Okay.
And for my second pick, I've gone Painted Paradise by Fleshball, which is tech there. So again, not a black metal album, which is surprising because I'm running out of black metal albums now. This is very good. It reminds me of Necrophagist a lot. Sorry, Phagist. Necrophagist. It's Necrophagist, yeah, not
Necrophagist.
Necrophagist. Sorry. It reminds me of Necrophagist a lot in a way where it's technical. It's very proficient. It's very accurate. Very clean sounding. The vocals are great. The drumming's great. Everything about it is great. If you like Necrophagist, I do recommend this album. Although it's not direct like Necrophagist worship, it just gives me that similar vibe, you know?
Fair enough.
Yeah, those are my 2 picks.
Vitor?
It's not the album that I'm gonna talk about here or the band, but I was doing my research, and a band that recently released an album is KO Dot, and I just realized that they have a release from 2003 that I want to quickly shout out called Chorus of the Eye. Okay, I talked about this before, and I wouldn't do this if I didn't love this album as much as I do. So, I'd recommend this album to Hugo in the past. If he gets around to listening to it, I'm sure he's gonna like it. But the album that I'm putting for 2025 here is actually a vinyl that I got in the mail today. The Long Winter by Burden of Ymir. or whatever how you say Emir. Hugo, please correct me. It's very folky. It's melodic. It sets the scene as it wants to do, and the riffs are phenomenal. I do want to give it another listen to feel it better, but on my first listen, it really drew me in, so I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was worth the purchase.
All right, my pick is an album I found just by pure luck. I think it appeared on K-Man's Twitter feed, but it's an album called Force from the Grave by Verdalac. This is a basically straight speed metal album. Has some of the best solos I have heard this year. The solos are phenomenal. My only issue is the vocals are a bit meh. Apart from that, it's just a phenomenal Japanese speed metal album that I've listened to a couple times this week, and it has just completely grabbed me. I absolutely love it. The song Blood Eagle specifically, I think, is phenomenal. But the entire is under half an hour, so it's a listen I can just play over and over again. But yeah, that'd be my pick. Force from the Grave by Verdalac. And as always, all of these albums are their Bandcamp pages or a way to find their music. It might be a Metallum page, might be their Spotify page, are in the description. So do go check these out and let us know what you think about them if you do check them out, or if you like them already, of course. But moving on to everyone's favorite part of the show, the spinny wheel of doom. The spinny wheel was
this week.
The spinny wheel was merciful this week and didn't give us an album that one person's going to get executed for putting on there, where me or Peter are terrified. But it gave us Heartwork by Carcass. This is the fourth album by the British band. It was released on Earache Records in the UK and Columbia Records in the US, and it was kind of their big boom. It was a breakthrough for melodic death metal as a whole. Many will say it's the first, but I would say it's almost just the first big one. Has, of course, the album cover that was designed by H.R. Geiger, or Giger, however you say his name. And yeah, it's pretty much one of the most famous death metal albums of all time, I'd pretty much say. It's widely seen as one of the best, if not the best, death metal album of all time. But enough about what people have to say. Oh no, I need to read the personnel. And because they're British, I can fucking read the names for once. No more Japanese or Scandinavian or South American bands where I just stumble through it. It's Jeff Walker on vocals and bass, Michael Amott on guitar, Bill Steer on guitar, and Ken Owen on drums. That's it.
Beautiful.
And, Colin Richardson did the production. But yeah. Nick, what's your opinion on this album?
So, I'm a dumbass, and I low-key forgot to actually listen to the album, but in preparation for the podcast. But lucky for you guys, I've heard this album like 50 million times. I don't really need a re-listen, as this album is one of my favorite death metal albums. Because the riffs on this album are genuinely ahead of their time. The song Buried Dreams, which is the opener, was my first Carcass song because my dad used to play that song in the car when I was maybe 10. So I remember that opening with that dun 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 do 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 do, like that part, always playing in the car. And I remember always liking that part of the song. That's my favorite Carcass song. But the whole album is great. The whole album doesn't lose theme. It's very consistent. It's a very what is it? Easy album to listen to, and there's not a bad song on here in my opinion. Even the demos I like listening to because they're more raw.
Mm-hmm.
I will say my only complaint is not the music itself. It's for some reason the mixing on Spotify is really quiet. I don't know why. It really pisses me off. And so I always have to turn it up like more than I want to. and I don't want to lose my fucking hearing. Do you guys have that same issue, or is it?
I've never noticed it, but next time I
neither.
listen to it, maybe tonight I'll take a look at it. But I never
I
noticed
don't
it.
know if it's just a Spotify thing or if it's like a production thing. But I know it's noticeably quiet compared to other albums. I don't know why.
Okay,
Also, I actually own this album on vinyl as well.
I have to do that.
I got it from, kind of mentioned it earlier, Earache Records for like $30. Because for some reason that place is not expensive for vinyls.
Yeah. Again, for context, Nick's Australian, so $30, his money is like half that. Like it's not.
No, it was like 30. It wasn't like converted or anything. It was just $30. It didn't have to
Yeah,
convert.
but $30 in Australian dollars, I guess is what you're saying.
Not,
I'm saying
no,
like
it
people,
it generally just wasn't converted. It's just $30 in general.
but like 30 Australian dollars or US dollars.
It just said $30. It didn't have a conversion.
So I'm
or
guessing
anything.
I'm guessing it's Australian. So what I'm saying is like people listening, like $30 Australian is cheap because $30
$30 for a
American
vinyl.
is not cheap for a vinyl.
$30 Australian dollars for a vinyl is incredibly cheap. Because
Yeah.
normally we're paying 60, 70, 80 plus. So to get one for 30 is incredible.
Because your
Might
economy
have
is
been
dog shit.
35 actually. It's not
Yeah.
even that. It's just we have to import all the vinyls, which makes it even more expensive
Yeah. Fair.
because we don't make them here.
All right, Vito.
So, I didn't love this album at first listen.
Okay.
It
Good,
took
okay.
me about 2 to 3 listens. What I will say is that the album has beautiful melodies, beautiful riffs, solos. But the thing I love the most about this album is how well produced and how well placed everything is. It feels like there are no fillers with the album. Um, Everything is there for a purpose. Like there's nothing there are no sections where I'm like, okay, I'm looking forward to the next section. No, I'm just enjoying that section, you know? So I think that's my favorite thing about this album. And I think that's why when I listen to this album, that's like I guess where I identified the type of death metal that I like. Because a lot of death metal that I listen to, a lot of it feels like filler, and I just don't enjoy it. And this album showed me that death metal can be heavy, it can be riffy, it can be groovy, but be played with a purpose, and whether it's raw or polished. So I think it's very groundbreaking in that sense, and also far better than their earlier works, in my opinion, where a lot of the Carcass community is very heavy on the early works, and this album is clearly their best, in my opinion. Um, yeah, never a dull moment with this album, and I absolutely love it.
You're gonna get cooked for that. I like early Carcass too, but this is their best album still, in my opinion.
I don't hate it. It's not, but I definitely think this is the best.
I would disagree with that. My favorite is personally Necroticism, but I will say this is a very good album. I think the guitar solo on No Love Lost is one of my favorites on the album. I think it's phenomenal. This Mortal Coil is a phenomenal song, and Death Certificate is a great way to finish off the album, personally. Not really much for me to add there. It's just a phenomenal Melodeath album that, if you think Melodeath, for the most part, it just sounds like Amon Amarth, where it's like just normal metal with like death growls. No, this is Melodeath, where it's heavy, it's got purpose, it's got,
it's melodic.
Yeah, it's melodic death metal, not
exactly what it is.
Melodic metal with death metal growls, which I think is what's a lot of Melodeath nowadays is, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But let us know what you think of that album, and let us know what you think of anything we have spoken about on here. I'm gonna wrap this up quick because it's getting very late here and I'm very tired.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
Got it.